Soldiers neutralized 11 terrorists in separate operations conducted in Zamfara and Katsina states. Kebbi residents loot government and private warehouses. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says no sacred cows in current anti-corruption fight. On the foreign scene, herder-farmer clashes leave 23 dead in Chad. Compliments of the season and welcome to the news hour once again on Trust TV. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin in the northwest as troops of the Nigerian army in separate operations have conducted operations in Zamfara and Katsina states, having killed 11 terrorists. The terrorists were killed following a raid on terrorist enclaves across the two states. In Zamfara state, the hideout of a terrorist leader, Hassan Entagwai, in Tsafe local government area, was raided which resulted in a gun battle with two of his men killed in the operation. This was contained in a post by the Nigerian army on its social media handle on Monday. Now, according to the post, the operation conducted in Katsina state led to the death of 8 terrorists. Weapons and military uniforms were recovered from the terrorists. The service also says troops have captured armed fighters across Ebonyi state and have also intercepted illicit drugs in Ogun State. Well, a little earlier, I spoke to Daily Trust Regional Editor Yusho Adam, who gave us more insight into the recent military operations.
Good evening, Abdullahi. I spoke with some residents in Sabi and neighboring villages, and they have confirmed to me that they have seen the movement of troops from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So probably it is during this operation that the troops raided the enclave of Hassan Entagwai. Hassan is a renowned terrorist in the area who is operation covered only eastern part of Sabi and some part of Katsina state. He has entered a negotiation agreement with virtually all the successive government of Zamfara state. About 10 times he entered agreement and he violated the agreement. In fact, in one of the negotiations he signed with the government, he categorically told the gathering at that time that he was the one that started kidnapping in Sabi axis. And by that time, there was no issue of kidnapping in the area. He was the one that introduced it to Sabi area. He has been accused of terrorizing eastern part of Sabi, which comprises communities such as Enkuzo, Awari, Ajia, Endoto, Sabi, Kwatarkoshi, Dempa, and Katsina, Kankara in Katsina state. He is being accused of this operation. So probably the elimination of this terrorist might have bring relief to these communities that I have mentioned. At least they would now enjoy relative peace by the elimination of this terrorist.
And I think the key word there is relative, because it varies from 1 week or 1 month or 1 year to another. But give me your understanding on this upscaling of military operations and whether or not we're seeing a decline in some of these bandits attacks on these volatile communities across Zamfara and Katsina state.
This is what people are hoping, that since that the military have started eliminating the bandit leaders, probably there would be decline in the terrorism in the area.
And what do we understand regarding the Katsina development? What have you learned about that operation over there? Because week on week we're seeing more of these military operations, from the rescue of the Tsangaya students a couple of weeks ago. More of these operations seem to be going on a weekly basis. What more have we learned about those developments there?
Yeah, what people are attributing this development to is the directive that the president given to the Nigerian troops, that they should do what all they could to reduce the terrorism in the area. So from that pronouncement of the president to date, the operation has increased, and the raiding, the arrest, the rescuing have all increased. So probably there might have been decline in the recent or upcoming days.
Right, regional editor for Daily Trust in Northwest, Yusho Adam, was speaking to me earlier on the military operations that led to the neutralization of 11 terrorists in Zamfara and Katsina state. In other news, on Saturday night, a group of residents from Kebbi State brazenly raided a government warehouse located in Bayankara area of Birnin Kebbi, the state capital, making off with valuable food supplies despite the presence of security operatives stationed at the warehouse. Now, these individuals, identified as hoodlums, managed to breach the premises. Furthermore, they extended their plunder to include private warehouses as well as shops within the vicinity, looting additional food items. Among their haul was a truck laden with assorted grains designated for distribution in Birnin Kebbi, which they swiftly seized. These events have unfolded against the backdrop of a significant cost of living crisis in Nigeria, widely attributed to the recent removal of petrol subsidies and the subsequent fluctuation of Nigeria's naira. Muhammadu Gwadangwaji, the chairman of the Food Vendors Association of Bayankara Market in Birnin Kebbi, reported that some shops and warehouses belonging to traders fell victim to arson that was set ablaze by unruly youths during the chaos. Now, the State Police Command has yet to issue a statement regarding the incident. These represent similar attacks on warehouses that have been reported in other regions across the country, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and many other locations. Now, a suspected cult clash erupted in Ijeun Titun area of Abeokuta South local government area of Ogun State, resulting in the tragic death of an individual identified simply as Tescom. The incident, which occurred around 8 p.m. on Sunday, saw the victim attacked and fatally shot by gun-wielding assailants while he was at a car wash in the vicinity. Reports indicate that residents of the area are now living in fear of potential reprisal attacks in the aftermath of this violent encounter. While the State Police Public Relations Officer Omolola Odutola confirmed the incident, she refuted claims that it was a cult clash. Instead, the police say it is trying to get clarity that it was a suspected murder case which claimed the life of the victim. In a similar development on Sunday, Oka, the capital of Anambra State, was engulfed in chaos as armed men suspected to be members of rival cult groups unleashed violence in several areas, leaving at least 6 people dead. The attacks occurred in Okpuno area around Eke Oka and Obinagu, with another incident reported opposite DK Park near Eke Oka Market. Although the exact casualty figure remains unconfirmed, sources in the affected areas reveal that the victims were en route to a picnic and other social gatherings when the armed assailants descended upon them, opening fire indiscriminately. The motive behind the shooting has yet to be officially determined, but local sources suggest it may stem from a supremacy battle between rival factions. The situation has instilled fear and uncertainty among residents as they grapple with the aftermath of this senseless violence. Authorities are urged to swiftly investigate the incidents and take necessary measures to restore peace and security in the area. In other news, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Chairman Ola Olukoyede asserts a comprehensive approach to combating economic crimes, promising to target all offenders regardless of their status. He emphasized the seriousness of internet fraud, but emphasizes the agency's commitment to addressing various forms of corruption. Olukoyede warns youths about the severe consequences of engaging in internet-related offenses, highlighting the limitations it poses on their future opportunities. The EFCC chairman urges Nigerian youths to prioritize their future over immediate gains from illegal activities and advocates for ethical conduct and diligence. Under Olukoyede's leadership, the EFCC is aiming to provide youths with a promising as well as sustainable future by establishing a cybercrime research center. This initiative, according to the EFCC, seeks to engage young people in meaningful research and productive endeavors to combat cybercrime and promote positive contributions to the society. Olukoyede's message emphasizes the importance of integrity and hard work in achieving success, and he encourages individuals to embrace these values while reaffirming the EFCC's dedication to uphold justice and integrity in Nigeria's fight against economic crimes and financial crimes. All right, let's dig deeper into the heart of the conversation now. Join us virtually from Yola, the Adamawa State capital, is anti-corruption campaigner Sunday Amos. Good evening to you, and thank you most kindly for joining us on the News Hour. Let me first of all get your thoughts on this commitment from the EFCC that they're not only trying to go after everyone who has a thing or two to hide as far as economic crimes are concerned, but they're trying to neutralize it from the source by engaging Nigerian youths in a more productive manner. What do you make of this development?
Thank you, Abdullahi. Good evening. Thank you for having me on the News Hour. Well, I tend to see it from two perspectives. One is to say that it's always good to engage the youth, catch them young, create as much awareness as possible so that they don't toe the lines that their elders either have told or are presently doing. Every awareness creation is very, very important as far as the fight against corruption is concerned. But to say that there will be no sacred cows in the fight against financial crimes, my take has always been, don't say it, show it. We've had a situation in Nigeria where heads of anti-corruption agencies always tend their work on the pages of newspapers and in front of TV cameras and so on, with not tangible physically to show it, to show for it. If you are saying that there are not going to be sacred cows, please can you show tangible examples? Instead of saying it, show it. Let us say there are no sacred cows. So personally, I'm very weary when I keep hearing heads of EFCC or ICC saying we will. Instead, show us what you have done. It will give us more hope. You just finished a report about what our troops have in Zamfara. We're reading of what they have done. And it is encouraging to hear what they have done and what they are doing. But when we keep hearing EFCC about what we will do with very little resource to show for it, it leaves much to be desired.
Okay, how about this for an example? Godwin Emefiele, Halima Sadia, Better Edu. Is this not good enough example to show that the EFCC is actually walking the talk?
Yes, there will be good examples for me if I see the outcome of what is happening to Emefiele. Emefiele ought to be taken out of circulation and locked behind bars for the rest of his life. And the same thing with this, but antecedents have shown that at the end of all of this court trial, they go with a slap at the back of this and nothing comes out of it. So I'm very happy if I see the outcome of this investigations and court cases and so on. We have had Magu, we have had the Suki, we had who again in the past. All of these high-profile corruption cases, what has come of them? We have read of National Assembly members who have been accused or who have embezzled billions and billions of naira when they were state governors. But the moment it was carpeted to the ruling party, their sins have been forgiven. Nothing has come of it. Very high-profile cases. So it's good to take them to court, but if at the end of the court exercise nothing comes out of it, why take them to court in the first place?
And in talking about this particular scourge that has become a blemish on Nigeria's image, especially on the international community? I'm talking about internet fraud now. Do you think this particular approach, because we've seen so many posts on their social media platforms, they get them in their tens, in their hundreds every single day from different parts of the country. But the more they take out of circulation, the more we see some of these young Nigerians, venture into this illicit act of internet fraud. Do you think this whole approach of trying to neutralize them by meaningfully engaging young Nigerians who have, some of these talents in the digital space is going to serve as a panacea to fighting internet crime?
No, I don't think so. I think we're focusing on the wrong approach. If in the fight against corruption, Abdullahi, arresting individuals is one of the least productive strategies for succeeding in the fight against corruption. I am a preventionist, particularly primary prevention, and not just in internet, but every aspect of the fight against corruption. We are not talking about prevention. We are not talking about plugging the loopholes where corruption takes place. We are not talking about establishing the enabling environment for public support in the fight against corruption. We are not talking about establishing strong systems. We're talking about arrest a few individuals here and then make media hype out of it and clap ourselves that we have arrested one or two internet and so on and so forth. We are fighting corruption in the wrong way. And one of the reasons why we are fighting corruption in the wrong way is because we are the wrong people at the head of our corruption agencies. And we have the wrong people because the people who appointed them appointed the wrong people for the wrong reasons. And the people who appointed them appoint them the way they appointed them, because even the people authority did not get into authority in the right way. And so you see, it's a vicious cycle. But one of the things we can do if we are sincere, if we are serious about fighting corruption, I agree, arresting individuals is one of them, but it's one of the small components of fighting corruption. Let's focus on prevention. Let's identify the loopholes. For example, why do these our young, very brilliant, intelligent young people engage in internet? For lack of jobs, for lack of opportunities, for lack of an enabling environment. They are brilliant. They are intelligent. Instead of our nation trying to channel that brilliant intelligence into productive interests, they have been left to try and find wrong means for expressing the brilliance or intellect that God has given them. Okay. So I believe that Abdullahi, we are approaching the fight against corruption the wrong way. We have the wrong people head our anti-corruption agencies, not free to do their work.
Right.
Because the people who appointed them there, if they try to do the work, the people will remove them.
Okay.
So we are in a mire, and we'll continue to do a lot of motion without move as far as the fight against corruption is concerned today.
As always, Sunday, it was a pleasure hearing your thoughts on these developments. Thank you most kindly for joining us on the news. I appreciate your insight.
Always a pleasure. Good evening.
Okay. Let's take a look at developments in Kano now, where the Kano State Hospitals Management Board has taken a decisive action against allegations of extortion within Kabo General Hospital, resulting in the dismissal of 3 staff members and the suspension of 3 others. The Executive Secretary of the board, Mansour Nagoda, authorized the termination of employment and suspension following an impromptu inspection of the facility. This development was disclosed in a statement issued by the Public Relations Officer of the Hospitals Management Board, Samira Suleiman, on Monday. According to the statement, 3 individuals from the X-ray unit were found to be overcharging patients 12,000 naira for X-rays as fee, well above the approved hospital price of 2,000 naira. Additionally, there was no documentation to support these transactions despite the facility possessing functional X-ray batteries. As a result, the X-ray unit performed less than 10 procedures per week. Furthermore, the statement says the Executive Secretary has approved the suspension of the accountant, the auditor, and the head of the laboratory for allegedly selling HIV test kits provided free of charge to facilities by the Kano State government. Easter Monday, the day after Easter Sunday, is celebrated as a continuation of Easter festivities in Christian communities. In some countries, it is a public holiday allowing families to relax and engage in social activities. Noel Sampson in this report speaks to a clergyman and FCT resident about the essence of Easter Monday and how its celebration has evolved in both rural and urban settings. The report also explores whether the original essence of the day has been lost.
The celebrations of Easter Monday has evolved from communal events centered around Christians displaying love by sharing food and other items with others. Traditionally, the day involved gathering of believers, often referred to as Galilee. However, questions arises: how has the celebration evolved in both rural and urban centers, and has the original mindset behind Easter Monday been lost?
Well, maybe before people celebrated in different ways, but maybe the present state of things, the suffering in the land and poverty, probably may limit some people's celebration. But the essence of it is still not lost, that Jesus died on the cross, and on the third day he rose again, and that he's alive. He said, "Why seek ye the dead among the living? For he's not here, he's risen."
It has not really changed because, like I said, people are more involved and more enlightened because it's due to spiritual upliftment. It's actually is a revolution over time. So at this particular time, people are more aware. So it has not really changed. It has evolved.
The changes we can experience is the hardship we are facing. Apart from that, religiously, it's the same. You go to my place where I worship at Karichi today, this morning, every Monday, which is Easter Monday, the whole Christian community, both Ekwa, Baptists, whichever one, we go to one mountain where we pray together. We call it Galilee.
Before the Easter, I visit this national hospital. What I saw there make me not to complain. Because the Christ I'm serving said with God all things are possible. We don't need to complain. We are even robbing God. In the sense of when you go to either hospital or Kuge, you know we are even robbing God.
However, the clergyman urged Nigerians and its leaders to make sacrifices in order to make Nigeria a better place for all.
As believers in this nation, what sacrifice are we making for the greatness of our nation? I know there are issues, there's hunger in the land, there is this, there is that, but it's momentarily. If we can all put our heads together and believe and stand with government and stand with Mr. President and all his cabinets to fight this economic hardship and let everyone have something to sacrifice. Leaders must begin to show example. All of us that are leaders, whether political leaders, religious leaders, or even the ordinary man out there on the street, we must be able to sacrifice.
Easter Monday has deep roots in Christian beliefs, commemorating the time after Jesus' resurrection when he remained on earth. Apparent to his followers and performed miracles like healing the sick, it symbolizes the foundational moments of the church. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching Trust TV. Still to come. Thanks enjoyed by many for hundreds of years. Have you been fooled today? Or more on the traditions of April Day in just a moment. After the break. Welcome back to the news. Thank you most kindly for staying with us. Let's take another look at the top stories. Nigerian soldiers have neutralized 11 terrorists in separate operations across Zamfara and Katsina states. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says there will be no sacred cows in the current anti-corruption fight. Now, Samuel Oyedeji, the sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps in Kogi State, has reported a tragic accident in Obajana, Lokoja local government area of the state, resulting in the loss of 13 lives. The incident occurred around 7:30 p.m. on Sunday at the Obajana market along the Obajana-Lokoja road. According to the sector commander, the accident involved a commercial Sharon bus and an articulated cement truck. The Sharon bus has stopped behind a truck at the Obajana market to allow passengers make purchases when the cement truck brakes malfunctioned, causing it to collide into the bus from behind. The Sharon bus was reportedly traveling from the southern part of Nigeria to Abuja at the time of the collision. Oyedeji stated that the remains of the deceased have been recovered, while the 2 injured persons have been transported to Fisayo Hospital in Obajana for medical treatment. The University of Ilorin in Kwara State has taken a decisive action against 19 students, including 6 final year students, for their involvement in various offenses. According to a statement released by the school's Director of Corporate Affairs, Kunle Akogun, on Monday, the Vice-Chancellor Wahab Egbewole SAN approved the expulsion of these students following the recommendations from the Students' Disciplinary Committee at its 220th and 221st meetings. The statement outlined that the affected students were found guilty of misconduct, theft, exam malpractice, hostile bed space racketeering, and extortion, as well as assault, admission, racketeering, and other crimes. Penalties for these offenses included either rustication for 1 semester or 1 academic session, as well as an expulsion. The students affected by these penalties were enrolled in various academic levels, including 100, 200, 300, and 400 levels. Specifically, 5 students were expelled from the university for alleged examination malpractice and theft, while 14 others were rusticated for 1 semester or a complete academic session. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, has reiterated the military's commitment to eradicating terrorism in northeast Nigeria and addressing other security threats plaguing the country. This assurance was conveyed by the theater commander of Operation Hadinkai during an Easter luncheon organized for hospitalized frontline soldiers at Memalari Cantonment in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. In his address, Lieutenant General Lagbaja commended the troops for their unwavering dedication in tackling insecurity. He pledges to prioritize training, logistics, and welfare initiatives for personnel to ensure the success, professionalism, and effective fulfillment of the military's constitutional role. Furthermore, the Lieutenant General emphasized the Army's determination to overcome terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers who have disrupted the nation's peace and stability.
For your doggedness in tackling the numerous security challenges bedeviling us as a nation. You have displayed much commitment, courage, resilience, and professionalism. For this, I say well done, and I charge you not to rest on your oars until we have eliminated all forms of threats to our country. While still grieving the recent unwarranted and gruesome murder of our colleagues in Okwama community of Delta State, which occurred on the 14th of March 2024, I urge you all to remain steadfast, diligent, and committed to the discharge of our constitutional responsibility. The current security threats across the length and breadth of our dear nation has necessitated the need for cooperation with other services and security agencies. During the conduct of its operations, Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai has received immense support and resources from sister security agencies to further enhance our operations. We wish to express our gratitude to the Nigerian Navy for their valiant contributions in the Lake Chad region and the Nigerian Air Force in providing close air support, air interdictions, and airlift capabilities in the theater.
Now, though not many know when it started, most people growing up have either pranked someone or have been pranked by others on the first day of April. The day is commonly known as April Fool's Day and is conventionally regarded as a friendly prank day to be deployed within reason. In this report, Ajibade Praise speaks to residents in Owerri, the Imo State capital, on their experiences regarding this age-old tradition.
April Fool's Day has evolved into an acceptable tradition where the prankers may find amusement, but those on the receiving end often feel displeased initially. However, they eventually come to terms with it once they realize it was merely a prank, usually ending with a classic shout of April Fool. Respondents sharing their experience highlight both the negative and positive aspects of this tradition.
I just wake up one morning like that, just take my phone. Like my friend, my old time friend just wrote me and told me that how far I got you, have you eaten? I was like, no. I was like, I should just send my account number, that you transfer 10,000 to my account. That later I give you, just make the money change. I was like, what happened? Like, do you have any business? You said, no, nothing. I just want to do that. I just sent my account number. The one I was not calling, waiting for the transfer. I told you that it's a pay. You want more. With the hunger and everything, the aggression was too much. Understand? It's normal life. I have to go.
I prank him. Ogasa, your brother is calling you. Your brother need you at Big Elele. He said she enter bike now, come and carry something. He's calling you on phone, but your line is not going. The soldier man went and climbed bike to Elele. Reaching there, called the brother. The brother said, I'm not calling you. I'm not in Big Elele. I did not send anything. When the man came back, like, wow, he wanted to cut my leg. He cut me off.
Some respondents noted that not everyone can handle certain information used in April Fool's pranks. Therefore, it is advisable for those planning to engage in such activities to carefully study their intended targets and avoid taking the prank too far. This advice underscores the importance of sensitivity and understanding when participating in April Fool's Day pranks. Individual boundaries.
School. So I was like, what is going on? They told me that, didn't I know that today is April 1st? I said, I don't know. By that time, the food that my mom gave to me and my lunch, they've already finished it. So since then, I am not very careful, like today being the first of April, so I'm very, very careful. Even someone has called me this morning to ask me something. So I told the person, I think this is not April Fool. As I see me, I'm going to see the person. So if it is April Fool, allow me to stay in my hands. He say, no, come, it's very serious. If I go this on April Fool, I'll be very angry with him.
An example of an April Fool prank is to enter a room after a lengthy meeting and announce to the audience that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has resigned from his position as the President of Nigeria. Many will be astonished by the news. Some may even scream in disbelief, especially if they believe you have just emerged from a closed-door meeting with the President. At the moment, when many seem to be convinced by your pranks, you reveal it with a shout of April Fool. While it can be fun, it also has potential to be traumatic. However, it has become a tradition that occurs annually on the first day of April. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
As the saying goes, let's all be guided and apply it within reason. Now, the National Bureau of Statistics has disclosed that the Nigeria Railway Corporation has generated 1.07 billion naira in revenue from passengers during the fourth quarter of 2023. Now, this information was revealed in the NBS rail transportation data for the fourth quarter of 2023 in Abuja, released on Monday. According to the report, this figure reflects a decrease of 7.51% compared to the 1.1 billion naira generated in the fourth quarter of 2022. Conversely, revenue from goods cargoes witnessed a significant increase, with 423.22 million naira collected in the fourth quarter of 2023, marking a 169.16% rise from 157.23 million naira received in the same period in 2022. Furthermore, the NBS noted a slight decline in revenue from passengers over the course of 2023, with a 2.64% decrease from 4.5 billion naira in 2022 to 4.4 billion naira in 2023. Now, these statistics provide insight into the financial performance of the Nigeria Railway Corporation, highlighting both areas of growth and areas of potential improvement in passenger and cargo transportation revenue. The Embassy of Angola in Nigeria has announced plans to inaugurate its visa and investment center aiming to facilitate travel from Angola to Nigeria. This initiative was revealed in a statement issued by the Institutional Communication and Press Services of the Embassy in Nigeria, Benin, Niger, and ECOWAS. Now, according to the statement, the establishment of this center is part of the activities planned to commemorate April 4th, the Day of Peace and National Reconciliation in Angola. The embassy disclosed that the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, will be the special guest of honor to Ambassador Jose Zhao to witness the inauguration of the center. Furthermore, the statement says the center is envisioned to serve as a platform for fostering economic, cultural, and tourist exchanges between Angola and Nigeria. Additionally, in February, the federal government of Nigeria and its Angolan counterpart formally collaborated to improve water supply and power generation within their respective borders. Still saying here in Abuja, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is scheduled to depart from Nigeria to Dakar, Senegal, where he will be attending the inauguration ceremony of Senegal's President-elect Bassirou Diomaye Faye. Now, this information was disclosed by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajurin Gilali, in a statement issued on Monday. According to the statement, President Tinubu's trip is upon the invitation of the Republic of Senegal. As chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, President Tinubu will join other regional leaders in witnessing the inauguration ceremony at the Diam Niadio Exhibition Center on Tuesday. Accompanying the president on his trip will be the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Maitama Tugga, along with other senior government officials. The president is expected to return to Nigeria following the conclusion of the inauguration ceremony. You're still watching the news hour on Trust TV. We'll take another quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Now, let's join Yusuf Akogu for today's latest in business.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogu. The World Bank has marked the performance of the Nigerian Identity for National Development as satisfactory, noting that the Nigerian Identity Management Commission, NIMC, is making progress. Under the project, NIMC is expected to have issued the National Identification Number, NIN, to 144 million Nigerians by June 2024. As of December 2023, data released by the Commission showed that 104.16 million Nigerians had been issued NIN, representing 70% of the target. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has disclosed that advance credit to the private sector rose by 93.77% year-on-year to 80.86 trillion naira in February 2024 from 41.75 trillion naira reported in the corresponding period of 2023. The CBN, who disclosed this in its money and credit statistics, noted that credit to the government increased year-on-year by 19.30% from 28.43 trillion naira in February 2023 to 33.92 trillion naira recorded in February 2024. Analysis of the numbers show that in January 2024, the Nigerian financial landscape witnessed a significant starting point with credit activities of 76.29 trillion naira. This marked a notable increase from the previous year, setting a robust foundation for lending operations and indicating a positive trajectory for economic growth. Despite double-digit inflation, rising insecurity, and other macroeconomic challenges, Nigeria equities investors reaped a whopping 18.2 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2024, gaining above the inflation rate of 31.7%. The overall NGS performance rose by 39.84% to close at 104,562.06 points in the first 3 months of the year. Since the beginning of 2024, the stock market has witnessed an unprecedented rally and buying interest, especially in the financial services, consumer, and industrial goods subsector, which has continued to trigger massive bargain hunting in large companies' shares. Capital market analysts stated that the stock market performance in Q1 2024 is on the backdrop of mixed corporate earnings by listed companies, federal government reforms in the foreign exchange market, and fuel subsidy removal. The stock market is still closed for the Easter holidays. We bring you the commodities market today in the absence of stock markets. We look at the boneless beef there, looking at the prices of meat, 4,500 naira for 1 kg of boneless beef in Lagos State. There, if you want to buy chicken in Abuja here, you need to spend at least 4,500 to get 1 kilo of chicken there. As well, turkey wings in Port Harcourt for 1 kg is going for 6,500. Goat meat, if you need a portion of it in Lokoja in Kogi State, you need to pop out 4,000 naira to be able to get that. And of course, apple fish, 12 pieces of it in Kaduna State is around 9,000 naira a day. Moving on, we look at the price of grains and see how it's going down today. Prices of grains, the basmati rice at my 12 market in Lagos is going for 22,000 naira there for 5 kg. Big bull rice there, 87,000 naira if you want to buy it here in Utako in Abuja here. Of course, talking about beans, Oloy beans, some call it sweet beans, 50 kg of it at Bodija market in Ibadan, Oyo State is going for 96,000 naira. Of course, sugar, 50 kg at Dawanau market in Kano State is also going for same price there, 96,000 naira. Of course, tomatoes, if you need a basket of it, the big one at Gumi market, you need to cough out 49,000 naira to be able to get that. Of course, are the highlights of some selected food commodities for today. Oil futures edged lower on Monday, failing to hold gains after upbeat China data. The data comes after the surprising and very positive growth in industrial production in February. At the London market, European Brent sell for $86 for a barrel. For the open basket, price steadies at $84 per barrel. That's business. I am Yusuf Akogu.
Let's take a look at development on the international scene. Late March clashes between herdsmen and farmers in a region of southern Sudan southern Chad, I beg your pardon, have resulted in the tragic loss of at least 23 lives, according to Chad's communications minister, Abdurrahman Kulamalla, who made the announcement on Monday. The violence erupted following the reported assassination of a nomadic Arab-speaking herder, sparking clashes between March 17 and 21st in 3 villages located in the fertile Moyang-Chari region of southern Sudan. The minister revealed that relatives and clan members of the deceased herder, hailing from the drier northern region of the country, retaliated with a punitive raid on the village they believe was responsible for the ambush leading to the herder's death. Although calm has been restored as of Monday, the clashes, which lasted for 7 days and spread to over 2 other villages, resulted in the deaths of 9 Arab herders and 14 individuals from the local Sarakaba community, including 4 women and 2 children. Kulamalla further informed that 21 individuals have been arrested and investigations are underway to identify the authors, facilitators, and accomplices of the crimes. Talking sports now, as the quest for Super Eagles coaching job becomes a lot more intense, with a lot of coaches showing interest to lead the Nigerian national team, the clamor for a home-based coach is getting even louder. Let's join Trust TV's Adeni Ajishafe with details of this and many other stories.
Following recent performance of Super Eagles in various competitions and friendly matches, Nigerians are worried about the inconsistency of the team, considering the unstable pattern of football, lack of goals, and the fizzling out of the fear factor Super Eagles enjoy in the past. One of the factors affecting Eagles is the coaching department, considering how many coaches Eagles have had since they won the AFCON with an indigenous coach in 2013. The Nigerian Football Federation made public the vacant position of Super Eagles coach. A host of indigenous and foreign coaches have thrown their hat into the ring for the job. One of such is a Nigerian currently in the saddle as the United States Under-20 football coach Michael Insane, who also signified interest in leading the Eagles to glory. While addressing the media, Insane said despite Super Eagles' talented players, they struggle to attain greater heights as a team.
There's been a lot of underperforming in terms of our country in football. Where do I fit in? Why would that make me a good fit? When I look at the players and the talent, where they come from, I've also worked with some very high-profile players in our own national team with the U.S. as well. I think the players have they come back to the national team with the standard that they've been training and playing at in their own environment, and that needs to be it needs to be organized in a similar fashion to meet their expectations when they come back. So they're feeling like they can perform freely, and at the same time they're performing at a level at the same or even higher. They should feel like it's a higher level than wherever they're playing from, no matter what club that they're playing for.
The coach said, having learned the rudiment of football as a player and as a coach, he believes Super Eagles should be at a higher level than where they are. He said he is coming in to add more spice to the team if given the chance to lead the men's senior national team. Saying that with a well-laid-out organization, getting the best legs for Eagles will take special talent to fathom a way forward for the team.
I think for me, I would want to come in and help build the standard from the ground floor. I think there's some things that have been done maybe previously that the players come back, they don't feel like they can maybe perform at their best. You can say resources or organization or different things like that. I think setting the table, the ground floor properly, that the players feel well supported. And then also you have to find a way to get the best players on the field at the same time with a reasonable structure. And sometimes it takes some compromise from players to do that, and it takes a good man manager to do that. And I think that's something that I'm very big in. I think I'm very capable. Coaching is just bringing people together to agree on an identity and ideas and a strategy to beat an opponent.
Super Eagles came second at the last AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, losing to the hosts in the final, and are also hoping to make it to the next AFCON and World Cup in 2026. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
Well, let's get some more sports update with the
Ahead of the highly anticipated clash between Nigeria and South Africa for a spot at the women's football event of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, Super Falcons camp opened on Sunday with the Nigerian Football Federation confirming Asisat Oshoala arrival for Thursday, 4th April 2024. The two teams, arguably the best women football squads on the continent of Africa, will slug it out in a two-legged affair as the fight for one of the two tickets from Africa for Paris 2024 Olympics women's football event. Meanwhile, the Super Falcons are extra motivated for this fixture, having not beaten the Banyana in regulation time for many years now, and having watched as the South Africans lifted the 2023 Women Africa Cup of Nations trophy in Morocco after the Banyana beat them 2-1 in group stages. The first leg will take place at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, Friday, 5th April 2024, while the return leg is scheduled for Loftus Versfeld Arena in Pretoria, South Africa, 9th April 2024. Formula One owner Liberty Media has bought MotoGP in a deal valued at £3.6 billion. The US media firm, which took control of Formula One in 2017, has purchased the motorbike series from Spanish company Donna Sports, which has owned MotoGP since 1992. The contract will see Liberty take up 80% of Donna, with Donna's management retaining the rest of the business. Greg Murphy, Liberty Media President and Chief Executive Officer, said the company was thrilled to be expanding its live sports portfolio. He went ahead to say MotoGP is a global league with a loyal, enthusiastic fan base, captivating racing, and highly cash flow generative financial profile. On the other hand, Donna Chief Executive Officer Camelo Ezipleta said Liberty has an incredible track record in developing sports assets. We are proud of the global sports we have grown, and this transaction is a testament to the value of the sport today and its growth potential. The first MotoGP season took place in 1949 with just 6 rounds of racing, but has now grown into a 20 Grand Prix campaign covering 5 continents. Spanish rider George Martin is top of this year's championship on 60 points, followed by Brad Binder of South Africa on 42 points. The deal is expected to be officially completed by the end of 2024. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashimi.
And that is all the news we have for you tonight. Thank you most kindly for joining us on the news hour. As always, feel free to follow us across our social media platforms, across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and do visit our website trusttv.com for the latest news and documentaries. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. For myself and the rest of the team, thank you for watching the news and good night.